The thing I'm most proud of in 2023 is everybody really cares about construction workforce management. Construction is a hugely underserved segment. It deserves a lot more praise and attention and help from educational institutions, from the government, from private industry, and we're making a lot of really good progress towards solving the workforce management problem. Lots of people have come and wanted to join the team because they care about construction, because they care about construction workforce management, or they're just, excited to work on a product that actually helps people, and then they kind of catch that bug of just being really excited about helping, construction contractors who usually don't get the most beautiful, well-designed, smooth-to-use software tools that everybody else, working in other industries might get to enjoy. We started 2023 in a really solid place. We say we really found product market fit there at the end of 2022 for Rivet as a scheduling and dispatch tool for construction contractors. We had honed in helping VPs of operations get the right person to the right place at the right time to get all the work done. And knowing where my people are today, being able to automate all the texts and emails so they're gaining foreman and they're losing foreman and the worker when they move around, that's kind of like core Rivet scheduling and dispatch. And we started the year with that, which felt pretty good.
For this past year, I'm most proud of the labor demand feature. Over a year ago, we already had forecasting in Rivet, which was essentially a manpower graph for every single job of how much labor each job will need. And so PMs could go in there and they could fill that out. What we didn't have was kind of the sum of if every PM got into the app and filled this out for their jobs. Once you add up all of these demands for every job over time, you can start to see a pattern of 6 months from now, am I going to have to bid more work? Am I going to have to hire more workers? And so now we've given a quick visualization to that question in Rivet over the next 6 months, year, 2 years. It's just building upon what we already had in the app in a really powerful way.
The last year, we've really put a lot of depth into these features. So they're more configurable, they're more customizable. You can set up custom views in the app to make it feel exactly like what you want it to look like. You can dial the filters way down and get just into the data that you want to see. And it's really, it feels like a much more cohesive experience than it used to be.
Another one that came is people really care about how much money they're spending per worker, per hour on these jobs, keeping track of their composite rates, trying to make sure that the job's going to come in on budget. We found great ways to get that information out of their ERP. We're sort of the source on truth on how much this worker's costing per hour is, and get that into Rivet so people can see that moving target of like what their composite rate is today. That was a huge milestone.
We are changing and growing at a very high pace. Rivet itself was about a dozen, maybe less employees at the start of 2023 and is now near 40. The engineering and product team has more than 2.5x. We're almost at 3x the size we were at the start of the year, and most of that growth has been in the second half of the year. And with more people comes more relationship building, more processes, more communication, and just more work around team dynamics and everything that goes into that.
The thing that I'm most proud of is our beta program. We started our beta program this summer with labor planning, and we've since put 3 major features through the beta program, 2 of which are shipping in January. And I think the reason why I'm so proud of this is because the beta program gives us structure to discover what the real thing is with our customers as partners, building the things that are most valuable for them to have happen in Rivet.
Probably the hardest thing to work through this year was 5 times as many customers meant 5 times as much expectation and need for sort of support and new product development. And then we grew the team, the product development team, but by about 2x.
We've been making steady improvements to the application so that we can handle thousands of jobs and thousands of workers in an efficient way, so that when you're at one of these big customers, these customers are the ones who stand to gain the most from our product, right? Because they're the ones who are losing the most money when they don't have the right people at the right job, or when people are sitting on the bench or sitting on the sidelines without having a schedule. So to really make the platform like a joy for them to use is really one of our top goals. And I think we've been able to do a lot of that this year, and we're actually going to continue to do more of that in the first half of next year.
So we've been hard at work at this notification experience, right? Because when you create a labor request or when you flag or work on your job for transfer, there's no need to go around and turn around and tell people what you did in the app, right? The app can just tell people on its own. And so we've got a great way to manage your labor requests, especially labor requests you got to send out to the union hall or you got to go put out a job requisition for to hire. We've got a great way to manage those labor requests, and it's when you're creating them, when you're filling them, when you're updating the status or requesting additional information, people are getting all the notifications automatically. So the labor managers can see when people in the field are being flagged for transfer, in an email summary at the end of the day, or a live text if they prefer. And then as soon as you find the right guy for that labor request your foreman put in and fill it, that foreman gets a text of hey, this is the guy, he's coming, and automating a lot of the stuff.